Hello and welcome to today's presentation entitled Freedom and Natural Law by me, Lawrence Wasson. Let's get right into it. Before I start getting into the contents of the presentation, I want to give a shout out to Mark Passio. Mark Passio has been a huge inspiration for this presentation and has helped me immensely in understanding natural law for myself. I have come into alignment with natural law thanks to this presentation right here. Thanks to being aware of the laws of nature, seeing how they operate in my own life, and this presentation right here that Mark Passio gave a few years back, entitled Natural Law, the Real Law of Attraction and How to Apply It in Your Life. His website is www.whatonearthishappening.com. I highly suggest you go check him out. He has some of the most complete work when it comes to all things truth. Jiddu Krishnamurti said, "It is very easy to conform to what your society or your parents and teachers tell you. That is a safe and easy way of existing, but that is not living. To live is to find out for yourself what is true." In this presentation, I hope to help you, the audience, to understand the truth a little bit deeper and have a deeper understanding of yourself and reality throughout this presentation and by its end. A quote by George Orwell, "In a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act." Absolutely. Especially in these times right now. We need people telling the truth everywhere, to anybody that has ears, to anybody. Plant seeds. I know you can't plant seeds in granite and stone. That's where most people are at. They are so encrusted and encapsulated and engraved in stone that it's very difficult to plant a seed in these individuals. But we have to do our best. Not hurt ourselves, but do our best and speak the truth anywhere and everywhere we can. Be 100% authentic in every single moment. We need this right now. We need this. Before I begin, the information I am about to present is nothing new. This presentation contains knowledge which has been passed down for millennia in a variety of seemingly different ancient teachings, philosophies, religions, and traditions. Most of the knowledge contained in this presentation has been both purposely hidden from humanity and, when it has been revealed, heavily obfuscated and intentionally altered to mislead for reasons I will be explaining throughout this presentation. Also, this presentation does not contain my own personal opinions, and if I do express an opinion, I'll be sure to announce I am doing so. This is my own unique take or expression regarding what natural law is and what is required of us to live our lives in accordance to these spiritual laws. Throughout this presentation, I'll be going over a variety of seemingly different topics, which are all ultimately connected and relate to the core subject matter: understanding freedom and natural law. The art of feeling. So I started off with this because this is the most important dynamic that we have to understand to be able to absorb the truth, to absorb any new knowledge. We have to be able to feel and gauge the veracity of the information being presented. So feeling it all the way through. The information I cover in this presentation must be felt all the way through. It is extremely important to take in this knowledge not only with the mind, but with the heart. One of the main issues human beings run into is that they lack the awareness to be able to integrate knowledge. In other words, they lack the ability to become the knowledge. We have to feel the truth deep within ourselves and our hearts. We have to integrate the mind and the heart. We have to be able to feel the truth and understand it and process it with our minds. In order to get anything out of this presentation, you must stay present. Presentation. Stay with me all the way through. To learn, we must take in knowledge with open minds and open hearts, not allowing preconceptions or beliefs to wall us off from potential beneficial knowledge. If you are triggered during this presentation, feel the reaction all the way through. It may be necessary to pause or even turn off this presentation to allow yourself to meditate on the reactions or feelings which may arise throughout my delivering of certain information. This is very important. If you feel triggered, if you feel a certain reaction, if something goes against your belief system, feel that emotion, feel that reaction all the way through. That's how you get to see the truth of it. That's how you get to start to dissolve erroneous belief systems and things that don't need to be in your mind. It's how you purge subconscious programs, toxic subconscious programs. It's how you purge toxic subconscious programs as you feel them inside of you. You feel the expression. In today's world, we do not sit with ourselves and our reactions long enough to understand their roots. Feeling our reactions and responses all the way through is a requirement to understand or come to know anything about ourselves or reality. We are where we are because we have been conditioned to disregard, ignore, and or run away from all perceived threats or signs of danger. In many cases today, the perceived threat or danger is the truth. Most people are so heavily conditioned to run away from any signs of the truth because they don't want responsibility. They don't want to look at themselves. They don't want to look at their own shadow, like in this image here. This guy's running away from his own shadow. This is the current human condition right here. We have to turn around and face the shadow, integrate the shadow, and use the shadow to be able to help other people integrate their shadow. The shadow is not the enemy. The shadow is the teacher. The fight or flight reaction is commonly initiated when an individual is faced with truth or any knowledge or information which goes against the me, the false beliefs and images one has about oneself and reality. Most everybody has an image about themselves, about the world, about their relationship, about their partner, about the bird, about the squirrel, about the tree, about everything. Most people, they objectify the world unconsciously. They have no idea that they're doing this. They turn everything into a word, a symbol, an image. We have to be able to see through that image. We have to be able to see me, who I am, the falsity of the word me, the I, and we have to see it and allow it to dissolve because there is no I, there is no me. There's only I, which is all. And it's not the word. It's beyond that. I'm going to get into this a little bit deeper throughout this presentation. This type of reaction is fatal, and the more we react in such a way, the further we devolve and decay. To me, it is a crime against ourselves and our fellow human beings to remain in a constant state of stagnation, unwilling to take in any new information because we have already made up our minds about how all of this works. There's nothing more dangerous in the world than the person who has ceased to learn. We must open our minds and our hearts and allow the truth to destroy what we once thought we were, so we may step into our true self, who we came here to be. The truth isn't a mental image. The truth is no projection. The truth just is. We come to understand and know the truth, not in thought, but with feeling. Thought is the dynamic which helps to express the feeling of what is. One more time. Thought is the dynamic which helps to express the feeling of what is. The truth cannot be thought about, only felt. The current human condition is slavery. I'm sure all of you could have guessed that or know that. If you're here watching this presentation, I'm sure you know that the human condition right now is slavery. We say we want freedom, liberation, sovereignty, to live in peace and harmony with one another, with ourselves and the world. We say we want change, transformation, unification, happiness, joy, love, and understanding. But the action we take in the world is creating the opposite effect of what we say we want. Why? Why is this happening? Because we do not have self-knowledge, do not understand natural law, and believe in and condone slavery. These three dynamics combined are a recipe for absolute disaster, as we are witnessing on the planet right now. We believe in government. We believe in the legitimacy of authority. We believe that certain people or groups have the right to rule over and oppress us, that certain people or groups have rights which we ourselves do not possess, that other people know what is best for us and our children, that we are powerless, separate beings whose sole purpose in life is to feed the system, and nothing can be further from the truth. The root of all problems we face as a species is that we have little to no understanding of how we and life work. And I put we/life because we are not separate from life. We are life. We lack the spiritual self-knowledge that must be integrated to experience the things we say we want, such as happiness, love, fulfillment, purpose, abundance, balance, clarity, peace, respect, freedom, etc. We do not experience hardly any of these states, all due to a lack of knowledge, care, courage, and ultimately awareness. And I call this the Trinity for manifesting balance. These four dynamics are required to be embodied by any being who wishes to see any real change happen on this planet. If these specific requirements are not met, the conditions which humanity says they want can and will never manifest in reality. You cannot manifest what you say you want in reality, such as balance, clarity, love, without having knowledge, care, courage, and ultimately awareness. Let's get into what this means here. So, requirements for manifesting balance. Here's the trinity of manifesting balance. knowledge, courage, and care with the all-seeing eye, the illuminated eye. And it also is the anarchy symbol. No masters, no rulers, or no rulers, no slaves. And then the A for awareness. Awareness is in the backdrop of everything. We're seeing ourselves expressing the courage, expressing the knowledge, absorbing the knowledge, and embodying care. We are aware of it. We are the awareness. We are the observer of the experiencer and of the experience itself. Knowledge is first required to be able to manifest the reality humanity says they want to see. We must take in knowledge of who we are, which is self-knowledge, and how this reality works through natural law. This knowledge is currently present on a mass enough scale to awaken at least more than half of the entire human population once applied and lived. We have to live it. Since there is little to no actual positive change happening on Earth, this means that knowledge is being willfully neglected and or ignored. As long as this knowledge remains unknown, neglected, or ignored, the manifestation of the desired conditions of humanity will be impossible. You have to take in knowledge. As a human being on Earth, we have to take in knowledge of how this reality works, of who we are. And yes, all knowledge is within ourselves. We read a book, you watch this presentation, you watch a documentary. That knowledge is awakening inside of you. It's all pointing fingers. This whole presentation, this entire presentation is a finger pointing at you. You have the answers. You hold the key within yourself. This knowledge, you're just remembering this knowledge. This knowledge is dormant inside of humanity. We have to be able to awaken this knowledge through observance, through awareness, seeing it inside of us and feeling, engaging the veracity of it within ourselves. So we have to read books. It's a requirement to read books. You cannot get around this. You cannot just watch videos. You cannot just listen to podcasts. You have to read books. Spend time in nature. Nature has so much to offer you, so much to show you. Being in the flora, being with the earth, spending time with the earth, speaking with other people. This is another humongous aspect of gaining and coming to an understanding of the knowledge that you have. I have personally come to the most realizations through speaking with other people. With just speaking and allowing my voice to be heard, I have come to understand basically everything that I know today. And that I have come to understand is by speaking about it, by talking about it. You can't just take it and take it and take it and take it in endlessly. You will explode. You will implode. You have to talk about it. Talk about it with your friends. Talk about it with your family. Talk about it with your peers. Reach out. Communicate. That's how you gain knowledge and come to an understanding of knowledge. And looking at ourselves, the ultimate dynamic that we have to constantly apply and be doing is looking at ourselves. This is how you gain the most knowledge here. You always have to watch yourself. Look at yourself. We are the number one book that we can read, us as individuals. I am the most important book that I could ever read. That's what we have to understand. And the knowledge about how all the dots connect. We have to take in knowledge of how all these dots connect. Most people see the dots, but they don't see how they connect. So that leads to a state of confusion. Care is the second dynamic we must embody to be able to manifest the conditions we wish to see in the world. Without care, it does not matter how much knowledge or courage an individual has. To care is to live in alignment with natural law and to serve truth. One more time. To care is to live in alignment with natural law and to serve truth. Care is also the driving force which governs what our energy is being generated towards. If we are in possession of knowledge but do not care enough to apply it to our own lives and share it with others, then what good is the knowledge? Likewise, if we have the courage to take action, let our voices be heard and help ourselves/others, but do not care to do so, then what good is our courage? We must embody care to be able to embody both knowledge, truth, and courage, action. We have to care. That's the foundation for everything. You have to be able to care first, to be able to do anything in this world, to apply any knowledge, to express any form of courage, to reach out. You have to have care. You have to be care. We are care ultimately at our core. We have to care about one another. We have to care about lighting each other's torches. We want to get out there. We want to help people awaken and illuminate other people. Help other people to illuminate themselves. We can't illuminate other people. Help other people to illuminate themselves. We can only teach an individual how to light the torch. They have to do it themselves. But we have to carry that fire to one another. We have to care enough to connect with one another. We have to care enough to pass on this information, pass the torch to one another. We have to care about each other in a very intimate way. Like, you got to really care. Like these lions are caring for each other. Look at that. Look at that. We have to care like this. We have to have this level of care. We have to care about the planet. We have to care about Gaia. We have to care about our mother here. Our mother is Earth. It's Earth. It's this living, breathing entity that does everything for us. It does everything for us. And she's getting angry. She's getting angry because we don't care. And then care enough to look at ourselves. This is a common theme in my work, is we have to constantly look at ourselves. I can't hammer this enough. Even people that think they are in the know don't look at themselves enough. And therefore, they do not create the circumstances that they want to see happen in the world. They do not create the manifestations. They do not see the manifestations take place because they don't look at themselves enough. They're fixated on getting the message out there. They're too fixated on this and that. They don't take the time to do that introspective work. They don't take the time to constantly be aware of themselves and care about themselves and care for themselves. And then you have to care to see how all the dots connect. I care about how the dots connect. I want to see how it all relates. We have to have that mindset. And then courage. Courage is the third dynamic we must embody to be able to manifest the conditions we wish to see in the world. To embody courage means to take action by applying knowledge to ourselves and sharing the knowledge to help free the minds of others. To have courage is to be willing to serve the truth and freedom no matter what the cost. No matter what the cost. Because we understand that we live on forever. We never die. Courage is ceaselessly standing up for what is right. If we say we care and have knowledge, but lack the courage to express true care and share said knowledge, what good is our care and knowledge? MLK said, the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. And I would say we are in those times right now. This is way more relevant now than it ever has been. We need to stand up for what is right and express courage and embody courage no matter what the cost. Speak the truth wherever you are. Radiate the truth. Be a lighthouse wherever you are. Don't take the lies. Don't take the bullshit. Don't take the agenda. Don't take the mainstream narrative. You go all the way. You don't back down. You keep going. You never stop. We have to have the courage to be able to face ourselves. Society wants to convince us that we're just little kittens. We're just little baby kittens when we're lions. We are lions inside, deep inside of us. We have to remember who we are. We have to realize that we're lions. We're not just little kittens. And it's okay to be a kitten sometimes. It's okay to be a vulnerable, soft, cuddly, playful kitten. That's important. It's an important aspect of this journey. But ultimately, we have to understand that we are lions. We have to have the courage enough to defend our rights no matter what. And it's more than just the human experience. It's more than just the physical. This is a spiritual war that we are in right now and engaging in. We have to be able to see it and do what is right no matter what. We have to have courage to get up in front of people and speak. We have to have a certain level of courage to start making videos, to start getting it out there, to start letting our voices be heard. It takes vulnerability, which takes so much courage. Being vulnerable is one of the highest forms of courage. And then we have to have courage to look at ourselves. We have to have courage to see ourselves and face our demons and face our trauma and face our shadow, be able to destroy what we once thought we were to be rebirthed into what we actually are at our core. And we have to have courage to be able to see how the dots connect because there's a certain level of responsibility that comes with this. And most people don't want that. Most people don't want that responsibility. Most people don't want that weight on their shoulders because they don't know what to do with it. They don't want the truth. With courage, with care, with knowledge comes responsibility, self-responsibility, and a responsibility to get the message out. So we have to have courage to see how all the dots connect. And then lastly, there's awareness. Awareness is us, the true I. It is the observer of all. Awareness is the observation of the trinity of manifested balance in action. Along with a deep understanding of natural law, awareness is the master key to create the world we say we want. It is the key element which many humans have not come back to regardless of what they think they know. Again, many people in the truth movement, in the truth community, whatever you want to call it, the anarchist movement, they don't have awareness. They don't have enough awareness to actually embody the truth, embody it fully. I'm talking about 100%. A lot of people in the truth community are still giving their energy to corrupted systems. They're still feeding the narrative. They're still feeding the agenda by being caught up in all the predictions, by being caught up in all the ideas that the system is projecting and portraying. We have to have awareness to not allow ourselves to get caught up in all of it. Awareness is observing how we ourselves operate and how this entire reality operates, which are two inseparable dynamics. Understanding reality means understanding natural law. Understanding implies awareness, always. To heal yourself, to look at your shadow, to do all the things that you say you want to do, and to accomplish all the things you say you want to accomplish, you have to have awareness. You have to be able to see that they're present inside of us. We have to be able to see the conditioning inside of us, to see the programs, to see the behaviors, to watch the behaviors. Without awareness, there is merely the attaching of the principles of natural law and knowledge of life to the ego and mind, turning knowledge into a superficial mental construct, an image. Natural law isn't an image. Knowledge is not an image. None of this is an image. Awareness is not an image. It is a state of being beyond words. We use words to portray a message. Awareness, courage, care, love, everything. It's all beyond words. We have to be able to feel, to be able to see that. You have to be able to witness the truth inside of yourself and see how it operates and see how natural law operates within and around you. And that takes feeling it. To know truth, we have to feel the truth and be aware of it. We turn knowledge into something that is apart from us rather than an aspect of us. It is not enough to only intellectually grasp knowledge with our minds. We must bring this knowledge into the core of our being, process it through experience, communication, and contemplation, and allow ourselves to become it. Become the knowledge through awareness, through integration, through processing, through living the knowledge, seeing how it works. We cannot truly manifest freedom in the world if we ourselves do not live freedom. This is through becoming aware that freedom is what we are. Freedom is awareness, ultimately. Freedom is awareness. All freedom stems from internal freedom. You have to free yourself internally and psychologically before you will create any freedom, true freedom in the world. So you have to free yourself, free your own mind, free your own heart to be able to express and manifest and establish freedom in the world. And freedom is what we are. We are freedom. We have to understand this. So here we go. Care, knowledge, and courage, and then awareness. We are the eyes, and you'll see the eyes throughout this presentation. We are the eyes observing it all. We are watching ourselves. We are watching the movements. We are watching the flow of life. We are watching reality play out. We're watching the screen. We are taking part in it, and we are the observer behind the screen. Ultimately, we are the awareness, the infinite awareness that watches the experience playing out on the screen. So we can choose to get engaged, or we can choose to not be engaged and just observe. Energy flows where attention goes. Attention is full awareness. If you're giving your full awareness to something, you're not necessarily giving your energy to that. You give your energy to something as soon as you start thinking about that something. As soon as you start engaging in the process of thinking about whatever you are observing or looking at, that's when you start giving your energy to that image, to that screen, to whatever it is that you're observing. You are in awareness, no thought. You're not feeding any thought. Thoughts can go by. Thoughts can pass by. These images can pass by, but we are watching them go by. We are not feeding. I can feed the thought. If I feed this thought here of going out in nature, then I will manifest it in my reality if I start feeding it long enough, if I put my will behind it. If I feed the thought of reading books, if I feed it and feed it and feed it, eventually I will read a book. If I feed the thought enough and put my will behind it, get emotionally involved in the realization that I am courage, I am the lion, then guess what? I will be the lion because I will embody the lion. And I have to infuse it with my action. Thought without action is meaningless. You feed thoughts long enough, they will manifest in reality. But what comes with that is the active aspect of any manifestation, taking action in the world to create the change, to pick up the book, to walk out in nature, doing whatever it takes to embody the energy of the lion, to care for one another. So you choose to feed the screen. You choose to feed the image. And that's what awareness is ultimately all about. In feeding what you want to feed, what's going to be conducive for the health of you and your fellow man, understanding that we're all connected. And then awareness of how all the dots connect, how all this works. We have to just watch it and see it and observe it without getting so engaged with all the things. Having awareness means getting engaged with only the dynamics that we want to get engaged with. This also goes into being a mastermind. Being a mastermind means being a master of your mind, not the other way around. All right, let's get into the definition of natural law. What is natural law? Let's break down the two words, natural and law. Natural means inherent, having a basis in nature, reality, and truth, not made or caused by humankind. Then law is an existing condition which is binding and immutable, which means it cannot be changed. It's objective. It's immutable. It's present. Natural law is a set of universal, inherent, objective, non-man-made, eternal, and immutable conditions which govern the consequences of the behaviors of beings with the capacity for understanding the difference between harmful and non-harmful behavior. The understanding of natural law is centered upon bringing our own conscience into alignment with objective morality. This means definitively knowing which behaviors are right because they do not cause harm to other sentient beings, and which behaviors are wrong because they do cause harm to other sentient beings. Natural law, the laws of morality, are objective. They are objective and immutable. They are here, they are present, no matter if you believe in them or not. It doesn't require your belief. It's just like gravity. If you fall, gravity will take you. If you jump off that cliff, no matter what you believe, you can have a whole religion dedicated to anti-gravity and how gravity doesn't exist. But if you fall off that cliff, gravity will take you no matter what. That's natural law. Natural law is always here. It's ever present, no matter what. Occult knowledge. We're going to pick it up here in part 2 of this presentation entitled Freedom and Natural Law. Thank you.